live for week 2 of Cosmic Crucible. Joining me today is Juicy. Say what's up, my guy.
What's up, boomer gamers?
Boomer guy, my guy,
Here,
whatever you want to say.
close enough.
Yes.
I destroy words as well as a mobile gamer does.
Yeah, I'm destroyer of the words, though. Copyrighted. I got that trademarked. You can't have it. So, week 1 of Crucible is done, and we've had some time to play it. Now, 2 things I want to point out before we get into the changes and what we learned from week 1 is that there is a Discord server. Link to that will be in the description. And there is also a counter sheet. And I just want to say, I think this is the best thing ever. Tell me how people are using this just real quick.
Yeah, so basically this helps you optimize your attacks, so you can go and plan out all those your attacks before you hit fight. Because once you use your teams, you can allot your teams precisely. And also, if you see a team that is, I mean, this thing was full day 1. A lot of these counters came out. So if you wait a little bit, there's going to be Black Knight counters coming. They'll be on this spreadsheet halfway into the day. And that just gives you a chance. If you can't figure it out, you can look on here and see if someone's already beat it before.
Yeah, Room 3, Infinity Watch, video. You know what I mean? It's that simple, right? And you can see that the counter worked. You can see if you got it now. And what you said, I think, is super important. Plan out your 6 attacks before you attack, so you don't spread your offense wrong or get to room 6 and you don't have the apocalypse you need to clear that room. So let's talk about the changes. And I want to just show what we did last week. And the thing that is super mind-blowing to me is no more Gamma on defense. My goodness, what are you going to do with Gamma? What's the thinking there with Gamma?
All right, so I kind of warned in my last video that Gamma was the 6th best defense, and so it's a game of 12 teams, and Gamma is just out of the gate. And so you can use Red Hulk. There's some hybrids going around that seem to make Red Hulk viable, but the rest of the Gamma is probably benched, at least for the people who have everything built and everything unlocked.
Okay, let's start at the beginning and look at room 1. Room 1, you've got Rogue and Gambit, and I gotta say, you've added Quicksilver here. So Quicksilver was on offense last week, and I personally firsthand experienced a level 100 Gambit who is below 50%, didn't even have offense up, and he wiped my Sinister Six. I'm sure you saw it too, right? He just wiped my Sinister Six with that AoE, right? It was because of that 200%. So definitely Rogue. This is, let's just say it. This is Gambit's room, right? This is Gambit's room, room 1. Yeah. And so that's the team you're going to do. You think Quicksilver is going to make a difference there?
So basically people were beating mine with, round 1, they beat it with New Warriors, and Quicksilver actually stops New Warriors because he comes in there and he rewinds the Gwenpool in the middle of their attack, and that ends up making them lose both. So anyway, that's why I have Quicksilver there. He also has that Raider. If you make him a Raider, he has the same issue where he can delete you. Yeah. So
okay.
He's an extra. He's a nice fill-in.
So that's the key there, is you switched him, because most people have Quicksilver as striker. So you're saying to use Raider on Quicksilver so that he can get it's 200% damage when he's below 50% if he has Raider, right? That's the way the room rules work, right? So the logical, I'm just going to say off the top of my head, the logical choice for this is going to be Masters of Evil Apocalypse. I mean, that's probably going to be probably the most common team used there. But we're not worried about beating it. We're just setting a defense. We'll figure out how to beat it tomorrow and the next day, right? Let's go. Yeah. Let's go to room 2. So this is what was used a lot in season the last season, but this was used in room 1. Tell me what's going on here. This was kind of dubbed as the Darkhold room, but you're putting Secret Defenders here. What's the thinking behind that?
Yeah, so this room is just meant to tax their master keys, right? There's a couple of teams that beat this, but my goal is to keep drawing that, taxing you across my defense. Because you can beat this with New Warriors, you can beat this with Masters of Evil, but you can only say Masters of Evil and New Warriors so many times across all the rooms, and so that's why it's there.
Okay, so this room 3 was Infinity Watch last week, and this room right here proved to be a little bit more problematic than most people thought. So that remains the same. What team is your go-to team to go against Infinity Watch in room 3?
Right now the most efficient counter that doesn't require APOC is Big Time Spider-Man with Masters of Evil. I think they use that twice. It pulls the revives, and then you're able to do a lot of damage with Kang. So,
yeah, I felt like I really struggled in this room with the like Big Time Spider-Man with like Eternals, and then they wipe everybody, and then I had a Vol, and the Vol revived the whole team, but otherwise it was a disaster. Okay, room 4. So this is very different right here. So we got basically the 3-piece of Out of Time, which is Black Knight. And then these two characters right here, Carter and Captain America, are Out of Time. And then they also got reworks. Like we were talking about this last week. Captain America got like a 41% health boost. And then he also, his special, which will be going off turn 1, favors this room, right? So what's the thinking about putting Tigra and Mockingbird here?
So just disclaimer, I am working on my defense right now. This is not probably the final product of what I'm going to put on defense this week, but this is what my thoughts. So Black Knight needs to be in room 4. Any other room, he is easily flipped by a lot more counters, whereas this is forcing, the only one that really has a good way of flipping him is Void Knight. So I'm forcing that, and then I think that these two synergize pretty well with the other 3. And I'm not using New Avengers on offense. So don't quote me on this team, right? I'm moving things around. I've switched this at least 3 times in the last 24 hours. Just trying to think about what I could put in those last 2 slots.
Okay, yeah, so this is a work in progress, but I think that the key takeaway here is putting Black Knight and Captain America and Sharon in this room, and maybe 2 others is probably going to be your final plan, is going to be those 3, and then the other 2 you're not really sure on, is what you're saying.
Yes, that's my plan. I think that if you're running him on defense, anything that you already had in room 4, Black Knight's going to slot in well, whether that be SD. Yeah, a lot of people are running SD. Whatever you had in 4, just add Black Knight to it, and it's probably better.
Yeah, like for me, I could probably take out like Photon and put in Black Knight, and that would probably be great, right? And then we have 3 protectors, and the taunts are going to bounce around all over the place, and then I might even do that, right? Just take out Photon and put in Black Knight. Let's go to room 5 and talk about that. So this is basically the team that was in room 2. What's the thinking here?
That's just that's my best 16. Now that's my 6th best team. I'm not using an offense. It's a great defense. It's gonna stay there.
All right. So one of the teams that I encountered here last week that I was not successful against, and you told me the counter very quickly, was Pegasus with Doom, and that's just a function of Eternals and Vol ability blocking Doom. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna talk about that. Just talk about that for a real quick second. What the counter there is for the Pegasus, and it's a high efficiency counter too, like a lot of points, right?
Yeah. So basically, Pegasus is too slow, and so adding Doom in there doesn't really do a whole lot, because you can still just, instead of using Shang-Chi, you can still bring in Vol, and you end up ability blocking the Doom and then playing it the exact same way. Eternals go, they blow them up. OG Falcon gives you turn meter to take a second turn. Omega Red kills them all. If not, Vol is going to kill them. And so they're just, they don't move. They have basically cements tied to their feet.
Yeah, and he's you heard him correctly. OG Falcon. We're not talking Captain Sam. We're talking like the original Falcon and doing the special. He's just going to stand there and give the team turn meter. And then here in room 6 is the same team from last week. I feel like this was a pretty good team in room 6. What you're thinking there?
Yep, if it did what it needed to do, which is it usually drew Superior 6 or Hivemind 6 to beat it, and that's what I wanted to draw with that team.
Okay, and then if you're running Superior 6 on defense, keep in mind there is a event running that starts tomorrow where you get bonus points in Crucible for using Superior 6 on offense. So my suggestion is to maximize the event, right? Pull your, if you haven't pulled your Superior 6 off of defense, keep in mind there's an event where you get points for that. How do you like the season bonuses after 1 week? Are you a fan of them, or what's your initial thoughts of the room bonuses?
I think the room bonuses are great. I think only 4 is really being a 4 and 3 is kind of just strapped. 4 and 3 are the great ones. I think the Hivemind bonus is showing to be a really fun tool to use, and so I think that Scopely, please do that more often. Do that with more teams. Mix that in. I saw a lot of theory crafting on that end, and please. So anyway, just encouraging Scopely to do that more.
Yeah, what she's talking about is the this right here. Symbiote 6 on offense and defense. Symbiote characters count as Superior 6 and Sinister 6, so that is kind of a fun thing to do with Hivemind, and throwing in, either Superior 6 or Sinister 6 that gives them some sort of passive bonus, right? It's a lot of fun. It creates a lot of interesting opportunities, right? All right, so be sure to check out Juicy's channel. In the link in the description, there will be a link to Juicy's YouTube channel. Also, there will be a link to the Discord, and then you're going to have to go to the Discord to get to the spreadsheet. Anything you want to say before we go?
Best of luck in week 2.
All right.
There you go.
Bye for now. Have fun. Good luck.